Welcome again to episode 1. This is John Adams, your trail guide. Before I start, this is the place that got me started in all of this. In 2010, I was taking a walk, and as I walked by this little hill, there's houses all around it, I dropped down to my knees, kind of saying, bless ancestors, those that came before. I am thinking to myself, John, what are you doing? You're losing your mind. Get up. What are you doing? Well, as you'll see, the trees that are there, and keep in mind that they've been growing there since the 1600s. You can't help but see animals, people, critters, or even the roots as if they're little fingers crawling up the hill. It's fascinating. But the indigenous culture, they have a legend and prophecy. They said that in the time of the white buffalo, the earth would begin to speak to the children of the earth, and they would know, and a new tribe would arise, and they would return. Well, sometime in the late 2000s, a white buffalo is born. Not the devil ones with those red eyes, but a true white buffalo. Other people that I've spoken to say they feel the same kind of resonance as like a magnetic draw, or a pulse that kind of resonates from these areas, and would love to find a scientist that is willing to find reasonable fluctuations in energies actually coming from this place. I want you to keep in mind that this is not a drumlin, this is a burial mound. The sachems only sat atop of their ancestors, so this is a mound. Mound builders, but they tell us the mound builders did not come to Massachusetts. But to finish up, 2 years after I was in the Quincy Historical Society, and the little old lady, she goes, after I mentioned it, oh yeah, there's laws against building on top of Indian burial mounds. There used to be a roundhouse on top of that. The Massachusetts people. The Native Americans with whom we are concerned are known as the Third or Woodland period by the hypothetical theory from today's archaeologists, who came here some 2,500 years ago. We now know they've been here for over 20,000. They were Algonquins, and the language they spoke was a dialect of Algonquin. They differed from the earlier people in two ways. They were not just food collectors, but they were food producers who had planting grounds where they cultivated crops. Second, they made pottery and used more refined tools and implements. Stone for these came from the Blue Hill quarries. Within a large federation, there were family-related groups. The Massachusetts group was one of these. The head was a sachem, or sachem, at the time the colonization started. The sachem of the Massachusetts was Chickatawbit. He, like the sachems before him, had a wife and family. The sachem also had other wives who were from other groups. These ties and others resulted in a kind of federation. The group, under a sachem, usually took its name from the place or area they inhabited.